This Panthers Corner is brought to you by Blow the Whistle Sports. What's up, my Carolina brothers? How you guys doing out there? Oh my goodness, another week in the books, and wasn't a good one for us. It was the same old foul story that we've been used to from years past. But there's hope on the horizon. I need you guys to really, really get it and really, really understand. This is a project. When we got Bryce Young, unlike other teams, we got a number one draft pick and had no number one wide receiver. We also gutted our defense, got new defensive coaches, got knew everything. We all knew. So everybody's getting to know each other. This is the third year. I'm gonna speed it up. I'm not gonna make it a long, long story. But this is the first year with a number one wide receiver that has to get used to the QB who's throwing to him. Now, they did work out in the summertime before, and it was a given that Bryce Young was like, I like this guy. And our Carolina, for a change, went after the exact piece that we needed. Now, we need some more pieces, but right now, we're going to stay in this year and in this time. And before I get into all that, because I have a lot more to say, but I'm not about to wear you guys out. You guys know what it is. And I just need us all to be on one accord. I keep preaching that, keep preaching that. But first, let me introduce you to first my guy that you know is always on with me. And he goes by the name of Derek Ori. How you doing, sir?
What's up, Panther Nation? What's up?
Yes, yes. And last but not least, this young man, he came in and he fell in at the perfect time. And I love what he has to say. He goes by the name of Patrick Nigel. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
Oh man, I'm I'm so. I'm still got that that nasty taste in my mouth because I see what we can be, and it's like we not getting there, and it's a team affair. It's not just one person. It's a whole team thing. We're messing up on all the aspects of the game, um, but it's being new. It's what do you feel about it, Patrick?
Well, I think this game in particular, kind of for me, kind of summed up the season, right? First off, we haven't found any consistency throughout the year. We don't win back-to-back games. We look great one week, we look, mediocre the next. This game, I want to put a positive spin on it because I think there's been a lot of negativity online about it. We hung with arguably one of the best teams in the NFL for 3 quarters. But the real glaring thing was we're not a good enough team to overcome mistakes, right? I mean, we get the interception in the end zone and Chuba fumbles, unfortunately, right away. Bryce then throws an interception. Looks like he threw the right spot. Looks like McMillan didn't go to the right spot. I'd love to hear that, but that's just my interpretation. And then of course, when the game was close, we needed a stop on third and forever, and we get called for a face mask penalty. And those are just mistakes that we just can't. We're just not good enough to overcome them. We can't get way behind and come back type of team. But we did fight to the very end, and I. So for me, I take a lot of positives out of it in the sense that until the game got out of hand at the very end, we hung in there with arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL. We hung in there with one of the best teams. Our defense really played well. We gave up touchdowns when we gave them a short field. It wasn't that they put together long drives. So I take all that to say, yeah, we lost. Yeah, it sucked because with Tampa losing to Miami, we could have wrapped it up.
Twice,
but at the same time, we hung in there with the team that's playing for the number one seed in the NFC next week. So I don't know that we can be too upset.
Well, I'm glad you put it like that, and I won't say that we can't. What I will say is that we haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
We have the ability to beat any one of these teams at any given Sunday. And it disturbs me that, like you said, we look like a super team, and then we'll come back and look like we forgot what we did the week before. It's crazy to me. But Derek, um, same thing to you. Well, let me ask you the question: how do we recover from getting our butts kicked like that, sir?
I think really for us, um, watching the game, we got to stop the spiral. Once we start spiraling out of place, we can't pick it up. I mean, we held them first half to 3 points, and still held them the third quarter. Then it kind of spiraled out of place. If we can do that, I feel like we need to protect Bryce a little bit more. Um, give him more time, not physically and mentally, just give him a little bit more time
To pass
and
the
commit to the
ball.
run. I feel like we still didn't commit to the run. They were stopping the run, but I feel like we didn't commit to the run as much as we could have.
Right.
So
Well, my thing on that is I feel like our coach, being this is his second year, that he is getting a playbook that from what has worked and what hasn't worked as we're playing in these games. It looks like he's trying to figure out a system to put on the whole play sheet so he knows, well, we got this many yards on this play, we succeeded on this play. It's like he's pulling plays every week. It seems like we have a different set of plays coming out, and the plays that worked from the week before and the week before, I don't see those plays come back. And when it comes to like what you said about the running back, eh, it it doesn't seem like the personnel, like he knows exactly um how to use Chuba and Rico. We got an excellent duel right there, but the time is not being split correctly. It in my opinion, I feel like one should start, and then when that one gets tired or he's not producing, then you put the other one in. And it seems like when one is doing good, it's like it's taken away before he can get his fire up under him. What do you think about that, Patrick?
Well, two things on that. The first thing is I think it's important to point out that we've had 12 different starting offensive line configurations in the season, the most in the NFL. So we're not firing on all cylinders there. And the second piece of that is I don't think Rico's healthy. He doesn't seem to be as explosive as he did a month ago. And I know everyone gets beat up this time of year, and I feel like he's just not as explosive and running with the same style and vigor that he has. And
Yeah.
I look at it and we see flashes, but I don't. He also then he takes himself out of the game a lot as well, and it looks to me like he's playing through something. Um, uh, that he that's not bad enough to keep him out, but he's not playing at 100%. Obviously, the second piece of that is I think we want to be a running team. We need to be a running team to set up the play action passing off the running game, but it's really hard when you're getting negative plays or zero to stick to that. And I feel like where we have opportunity to be better and improve is we don't seem to do a lot of mid game adjustments well. And I
At
talked about this
all.
when I talked about this when I was on the couple weeks ago. Our first scripted drive or two coming out of halftime, coming into the first game, we usually do very well. But as the game progresses, we struggle there, and I think that's something that the coaches need to look at, in the offseason, and maybe whether it's Dave continues to call the plays and gets a different person up in the booth talking in his ear or something. We just don't seem to be we don't transition and do what we're saying. I mean, we were getting destroyed, and it's really frustrating when you hear the players come out and say, oh, they did stuff that we weren't expecting and we weren't able to change. What do you mean? I mean, like, okay, so Seattle came out and jammed the line of scrimmage and played man. Well, I hate to break it to you, but anyone that wants to beat us should do that exact same thing, because we need to run the football, and you can take that away, our play action passing game is out the window, and then we're easier, and our receivers aren't getting separation, and our line isn't holding up for long periods of time. So that's a recipe for disaster. So hopefully we learn and we improve going into this week.
Well, you said it right there. I feel like I said, he's putting a sheet together so he can put somebody in the booth and he can concentrate on personnel groupings and this player the players that he needs to have an offensive coordinator with all his plays on that sheet. And I just hope that I'm correct in what I'm thinking, because he's all over the place right now with the sheet. So it does look like that. Um, why he's never returned to the two running backs in the backfield to come out the backfield to block and then grab a ball and keep going. I don't know. I don't know. And then he slowed down on Bryce Young rolling to the right and to the left, which is what he's good at. He makes it seems like he makes better decisions under duress, rolling from right to left. And if us as fans see it, I will hope that they go over film and film and film that coaching will see it also. Next question, Derek. What was it, play calling or execution that cost us this game?
I think it was a little bit of both. The Like Patrick says, it seems like Dave gets stuck with the plays that he does. It doesn't make the adjustments at mid game. But it was execution that killed us in the end.
Yeah.
Chuba fumbling, the mental defensive penalties. A little bit of both. It was on both sides. It wasn't. I don't think it was one sided this game. Although I still feel like the defense played a good game, keeping us in the game until the mistakes.
Yeah.
Towards the end, but a little bit of both.
I take my hat off to our defense, because
Yeah.
they showed up and showed out, and they've kept us there. They've done their thing. They've kept us there. So I really, with a few more pieces to that defense, our defense is going to be just as dangerous as all the best defense out there. And I'm really happy with the way the progression of our defense has come. It's just that offense. We have an A1 offense that looks A, then when we get next week it looks like a D, and I'm just tired of that. I'm just tired of that. Patrick, with Xavier Legette, do you have any criticism for him?
I have a lot of criticism, but to me, it just looks like it's all mental, right? Like, lining up offsides is inexcusable. I mean, he even turns to the ref and but he barely looks. So that was just like something you just do, right? I go out and he doesn't. I mean, if the ref gave him bad information, bad on the ref. I don't know if that's true, but I mean, you can't line up offsides. I mean, come on, drops are mental. Not knowing where your feet are on the out of bounds line, that's just mental. So, he needs to get in the lab and focus on his craft this offseason. This is make or break for him. I don't want to write someone off this early, because he has shown some flashes, but I just think that, he gets in his head and he's having a hard way of finding his way out. I mean, so for me, he's down the depth chart. And I don't know if we can have him out there in critical times. I mean, he's a mental liability at this point. I mean,
especially in critical times. Especially in critical times.
He's not reliable. I mean, he's not going to catch the ball. He's not going to stand down.
Feet.
Yeah, and it's a shame. I want to see him get better, and hopefully he does, and hopefully he gets serious about it this offseason and really kind of invest in his craft, and maybe post less about his horses and eating raccoon, and and get more about the game, because he's not going to be on the team if he continues down this road. So it's disappointing, but I think he can get it back. I really do. And I wonder the fragility of his mind, if taking Tet really, kind of messed with him, and he never really recovered this season, because it seems like he was better last year than he was this year. I mean, in streaks, but he's a streaky player too, and I just feel like we're seeing a pretty big bad streak and not enough good streak.
I think that he's in his head, like exactly like you said. But with coaching, we have Hunter Renfro, and we also have Horn that came from Colorado. Two excellent wide receivers. When a player is in his head, it is up to the head coach to grab him, talk to him, not say you're getting benched, but let him sit and think about it for a second. Because he's had happy feet.
Oh yeah,
How many games has he had happy feet where he gets a first down for us, but he stepped out of bounds? That has been called on him 3 or 4 times now, where he runs out of bounds and he comes in and catches the ball. That's and then that last time where he catches the ball, but he doesn't have his feet in bounds.
yeah. I mean, if I was the Panthers, I'd open up the wallet and I'd go get Ricky Prohl to come coach my wide receivers. I mean, he's
Wow.
there, he's local. He was on our coaching staff, and then there was something that happened. I'd do everything to get him back. Hunter Renfro, I don't know if Hunter's the player that he was before. He seems pretty slow. But I'd like to see more Jimmy Horn. I'd like to see him less gadget plays, and I'd like to see him get a real opportunity. I think in a 3-person set with Tet and Coker, he brings the speed piece where you can take the top off the defense, and I'd like to see us kind of get into that a little bit more. At least give the threat of that, right? Like we've talked about in the past. Like you don't have to bomb it down the field, 10 times a game, just a few times to keep the safeties engaged and not everybody crowding up on the line.
But I don't want him just throwing down the field.
No.
I've heard a lot of people say that. And when I go back and look at those plays, there's nobody open. We need a Horn that can get a window so he can at least have a chance to catch the doggone ball.
For sure.
Man,
No, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see what we could do with that. We haven't seen it.
Going back to the game, I don't think we had more than 1 or 2 deep balls thrown the whole game.
No, and I went back and rewatched the game without sound, without commentary, like I do, and I can tell you that one thing I noticed right away was Bryce never had more than he had no time to throw. I mean, literally, he's hitting his back foot and someone's unblocked, running right down his face on every play. It was really, for everybody online trashing Bryce. I think you need to go back and look and say, I don't care who your quarterback was in that game. If by the time you're catching the snap and you have someone unabated running right in your face, are you going to stand in there and make that throw? You could have the almighty Tom Brady back there, and he's probably not going to have a good day. So
every time
you got to block. You got to give him a chance, and we just didn't give him a chance.
Yes. Derek, let me ask you this question. What are your honest feelings about us making the playoffs? And even if we do, can we make a difference? In the playoffs? Can we make a run?
Well, I think we're going. There's no doubt about it. We're going. And if we do, we have San Francisco first, according to the brackets. I think that's going to be a big revenge game for us. Big revenge game, because I don't think San Francisco is going to beat us the first time.
Yeah, I think San Francisco is the easy game.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be San Francisco or Seattle. I mean, those are the choices.
Right.
Yeah. Looking at the bracket now, you look at it now, they're showing San Francisco.
But if San Francisco loses, then they go from 1 to 5.
Yeah. Yes. This is a big week. This is a big week to make a lot of decisions. I'd rather have San Francisco, though. I'd rather have San Francisco because our defense is in Brock Purdy's head already. So I'd rather them. But Derek, to you the same question. What is your honest feelings about us making the playoffs? And if we do, can we make a run?
That's for
So
Patrick.
yeah, it's for me. But there's two paths for us to go to the playoffs, and one not. So I feel like we're gonna go. I feel good about that, and I really like to see us go in on a win. I don't want
Yeah,
to see us back in. I want to see us earn our spot rightfully by winning the game. I
yeah,
think we need to build that confidence and making a difference. I do. I listen. I, if we play Seattle or San Francisco, we lost to both teams. We can make an argument in both of those games that we had opportunities to play better, to be in a position to win. And we know that those teams we played know that. If I'm San Francisco, I feel like they know they got away with it. They know that there's no way Brock Purdy can throw 3 interceptions and they can win, and they found a way to do that. So, for me, yes. Can we make a difference? Yes, because there's something that's going to happen for us if we get into playoffs, and that's just this: we're on the house's money, and everyone expects us to be the easy out, and no one expects anything from us. So you can just relax, play your best football, and see what happens. And all the pressure's on the other team; they're expected to beat us. We suck. We're the weak NFC South. All those things that they're already saying, by the way.
and I've heard this stuff over and over again. You're
So for
hurting
me,
my ear.
like get in, and you know what? Nobody wants to play us. Sure, there are times we don't look great, but again, if you watch that game on Sunday, through the first 3 quarters of the game, it's an even game.
Yes,
It
yeah,
is not. We're not. The scales are not turned one direction. We don't look like we don't belong. We make a couple of mistakes and they capitalize, and we didn't get those mistakes in return. So I do feel like we can make a difference, and I do think we're going to make it. And I think that every Panther fan, segueing to your next question, every Panther fan out there needs to calm down and relax, because I'm going to say what I said 2 weeks ago when we were talking before. If I would have told you before the season started, we had a chance to win the division going into the final week of the season, would you feel good about that? And every single person would have been like, heck yeah, man, great season. That's so much better than we had before. Yes, I don't know if either you play golf, but there's a reason you don't draw, pictures on the scorecard, right? It's not how you got there. It's the number that you post. So
there we go.
if we can get there, it doesn't matter. All that stuff doesn't matter, and we can focus on the future and get into the playoffs, and maybe, just maybe, everyone can relax and give the team a break, because at the end of the day, last year we were horrible, the worst defense in the history of the NFL. And we're sitting here going, we don't have a chance to win a single game. How did we even win this game? The year before that, we were horrible. We fired our coach halfway through the season, with the first year quarterback, and we're bringing in new people and all this stuff. And are we keeping this guy? We're getting rid of this guy and all this other stuff. So everyone needs to calm down, take
Yeah.
a breath, and realize we have the opportunity to win the division.
Yes.
If you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, I'd have been like, heck yeah, man, let's go.
We are the Carolina Panthers,
Yes.
and we here. We in your face. We speaking loud. And
Let's
yes,
go.
yes, we've had bad seasons, but this is not that season.
No.
And it's scary because you haven't even seen our best football yet. You haven't even seen it yet. Our offense, no matter with the W's that we've taken, you haven't seen us clicking on all cylinders yet. And if anybody watching to see that we beat the Rams, we beat these teams, and it's got to be scary to them because they don't even know what we're coming with. They haven't even seen Bryce at his best yet. They only seen a fraction of it, a glimpse. But we're going to get better, and Bryce is our guy. Just like Patrick said, calm down. Calm down to our Panther brothers out there. Derek, what are you going to say to the pages that you run, to our Panther people out there that's speaking out of it seems like they're on another team, like they're not even Panther fans half the time. Derek, what you got to say to them?
I tell them, relax, we're ahead of schedule. We weren't supposed to be this far. Relax, we're ahead of schedule. We arrived early. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no one expected us to arrive this early. So we're excited because we arrived early. Be excited about about what we're doing now, and
We're here.
have high expectations for next season.
Yes, we're here.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate us. We make the playoffs, we're dangerous.
Let's not forget, Dan Morgan has done an amazing job, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
and for
Right.
everyone online and all the groups, all the Panther groups online on Facebook, oh, Dave's trash. Like Dave, I mean, just last week in the pregame shows on every NFL network, that he's in the running for Coach of the Year, and so okay, so it's been an up and down year, and like I said before, the worst thing that this team has done to all of us is give us hope, right? And hope and expectation to win, as Derek
Yeah.
says, a year ahead of schedule, because we really are a year ahead of schedule, right? And truthfully, Dan has put together, Dan Morgan doesn't get a lot of love for being GM of the year, but we're going to be a team that free agents are going to start to look at now. We've had to overpay. Let's just be honest. We've had to overpay for free agents
There
to
you
get
have
them in our building, to get them on our door, because we aren't competing for the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Well, now we are. So we're gonna be able to start, getting a little bit better quality of free agent in our door for maybe a more affordable price.
Yes.
Our drafting's been well. I mean, we don't talk about it a lot, but Nick Scorton's been a great player. I mean, he really has shown flashes of greatness all season long. Remember, he's 20 years old. I mean, let's not forget that. So, Princely, he's shown some stuff. Ransom has shown some stuff. Jimmy Horn has shown some stuff. Mitchell Evans has shown some stuff. I mean, we have a really good draft class. We have undrafted rookies that have done well. Jalen Coker, for one. So everybody needs to really think about where we were and where we're going. And just think, Dan is doing a great job, and Dave is doing a good job too. Are there things he can improve on? 100%. Can we get better? 100% we can. Should we be better? We should. We got to stop making mental mistakes. We got to stop doing things like lining up offsides in critical moments and things like that. But at the end of the day, when you look at the team and you say, we're a contender, we're playing for the championship of our division on the final Saturday of the season.
My goodness.
What more can I ask for? Honestly, as a fan, what more can I ask for?
Exciting.
Yep.
Exciting. And to all you guys out there that's Panther fans, we're together on this. We're not apart on this. We're all together. All of us are tired of the losing. All of us are tired of the mediocre that was in the building. They came, they gutted the Panthers 3 years ago. They gutted us. Offense, defense. They got us our QB. Now they're putting people on both sides of the ball. Calm down. We're getting it together. I know it sounds like a broken record coming from me because all you guys have called me crazy in the forums talking about, do you want to get rid of Bryce? That would be a mistake. That would be starting all over again. But let's clear that up. If we make the playoffs, and if we go into the playoffs and we take out the first team, our coach, there's no denying that he should get Coach of the Year.
100%.
There's no denying that. We are here by the way we're playing, and we haven't been here. Was it 7, 8 years?
8 years.
My goodness, it's been a long time coming. But we Carolina strong and we Carolina proud. Derek, Patrick, hey, it's been lovely having you guys, man. And I want to have you guys back on. I want to get an open forum where we can have more people, where we can just, everybody gives their little opinion, where, you have your opinion. Patrick has his opinion. I have my opinion. And we all come together and we just understand that sometimes we see a little things a little different, but the one thing that holds true is that we all are Carolina strong. And let's get these Bucks. Let's get these Bucks this Saturday. Let's get it. Let's get hype. And like we like to end this, what we go out saying, our mantra, keep pounding.
Keep pounding, baby.
Keep pounding.
Let's do it.